Hello, and welcome to episode 51 of Flesh and Pod. My name is Abby, and I'm your host. With me, as always, are Logan and Jordan. Logan, we'll start with you. What did you do in Flesh and Blood this week?
Close to nothing. I played Anne Armory with CC Arachne, and it did not go well. Yeah, I think that that's a pretty common across the board right
Yeah,
now.
not
Trying to
alone, I guess.
trying to figure this hero out. It's a lot. The lines are a lot. The deck construction, there are more options than you would think, and so it's kind of fucking hard. And then normally I would have played normally last night, but instead I went and watched a hockey game that it turned out to be a very cool hockey game. It was one of the players' 1000th game in the NHL, and
Sweet.
it was a 1-0 game into the last minute 30 of the third period. And Minnesota went ahead and scored the tying goal with like a minute 5 or minute 10 left. And then in overtime, the guy who was his 1000th game and like they had the entire ceremony at the beginning scored the winning goal in overtime, and it was his first goal of the year.
Oh
And
wow.
on the night that he gets like given the silver hockey stick for his 1000th game and has all these like shout outs on the board from all of his ex teammates and all this shit, he's the one that scores the winner in overtime. It was like, God, this is some fairy tale shit. This is awesome.
That's cool. That's like you don't get to live that a lot, you know?
No.
That's so awesome.
It's just
Awesome.
it was great. I'm super glad I was there. It was a ton of fun.
Hell yeah.
Jordan, did you do shit or not?
I did actually. So I played some Arachne on Talishar yesterday.
Deck
so yeah, deck is quite hard. I tried to play a bit of a control-y build. Played the mirror once, which I lost because like I don't know what I'm doing in that matchup. I don't think my opponent knew either,
Nope.
to be clear. And then I played against FaB, and I lost that one. Because I think you want to like naturally fatigue them in that matchup. You just bleed so much damage, and you never really get an opportunity to come back. Like your cards just don't attack well.
I think about the only one you want to attack with is Eradicate, because you just want to get more cards out of their deck.
Yeah, is that the one that banishes X?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one that I connected with. Like I connected for the full 4, and it felt really good. Like because they brought them down to something at the time like 30 cards, and I still had like 45, and I was like, oh, the game plan is strong. And then I took like 10 over 2 Art of War turns, and like just slowly bled out damage to Phoenix Flames from there.
Yeah, that was part of the Thursday night experience for me, where I was playing against Alexi. I hit Eradicate hit for 11. And so I got 11 cards. It was a ton. And I was just like, okay, we're doing it. And I got an Art of War, and I got a 3 of a kind, and I got other cards. Then he proceeded to play the other 2 Art of Wars and the other 2 3 of a kinds. So it's like,
wow.
oh, well, I mean, that doesn't really help. Like, well, shit.
That's that's crazy. I in all of the testing discords that I'm in, like there's a lot of different opinion on how to build it. I think the battle hardened result that we saw shows, that you guys talked about, or that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Since there was no changes, shows that here is tough. It's going to take a while if it's going to get out there. I love the flavor of it, and we'll talk later during the listener question segment about the place of how we got to Arachne. But like, man, the deck is hard. There's so many lines. There's so many decisions. You really have to know what your opponent wants to do as well. There were so many times where I would like cast a card with contract and go like, I don't know if I want you to keep this or not. Like I don't know. Do I? Maybe. So I don't know. But generally very, very, I think the deck is very flavorful, very cool. Completing contracts is fun. Buying your equipment back is fun. I had a lot of fun with that. Played a lot of Netrunner this week, which is not a Netrunner pod, but Teague, friend of the show, wants to start Net and Pod so that you can nap after you FaB. And I told him that I wouldn't do that, but at the same time, well, it or napping, part of the FaB family of podcasts.
Yeah, would you produce the nap? And do the FaB?
Oh God,
the FaB and producing the nap.
Yeah, I don't want to produce. I don't want to produce another show. I like producing the FaB. I like orchestrating the FaB. Preparing for the FaB each week makes me very happy. For you radio listeners, Abigail is just staring at us like, let's get the fuck on with it,
I
boys.
painted this room black so it looks like the Den of Despair. So it just looks like I'm chuckling like a maniac in the Den of Despair. It's just,
dilly dilly.
fucking,
Yeah.
God damn it.
Abby, go ahead and tell us what we all know.
Okay, first off, rude. Second off, hi friends. I missed you all. It's been a little busy for me lately. It's fine. Since I was last on the show, I have done stuff in Flesh and Blood though. So shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
I opened
on.
a lot of cards. It was fantastic, amazing. I loved every second of it. I got the 2 cards that I wanted.
Oh, sure.
So that was super awesome.
I forgot that we haven't, like to break the fourth wall, haven't been on here since
I haven't been on here in 2 weeks
came out.
Because I had to go on my work trip. It's been a while.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's right.
We brought in Charmer to help out. Shout out to Charmer for the great work he did too.
No. I do not appreciate being called Bigfoot. I didn't.
I forgot about that.
No, I have.
What the hell's your problem with Derek?
I have not forgotten.
What did Charmer do to you? Apparently not.
Yeah. Wow. I think we're like 35 cards off of set complete. Pretty bad out of 3
we
cases,
did get 3 emperors.
Yeah. 3 emperors. We didn't get any crowns. We didn't get the Black Tech Whisperers. We didn't get the Spirit of Elrina. We didn't get a non-Marvel rock ?
I didn't get.
We got
a
Marvel
rock.
Oh wow. Yeah, we got one of the pretty ones. I didn't get any surgical extractions.
That sounds.
I think we might have gotten one.
Did we get one? Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the spreadsheet wrong. Yes, we did get one.
Yeah,
none. Still no Yojis. Like
I
really
one.
just. Yeah, see, they I'm okay with like if I get the one of that thing.
I might have 2. I might have a foil and a non.
Nice. That's pretty cool. I would. And the shitty part about our emperors is we got 3 rainbows.
Ugh.
We didn't even get like a good one.
The $7 emperor.
Yeah. Is that what they're going for right now?
Last I knew, they were 19.
Oh my
God!
Was
a week ago.
Oh my God! So yeah, my play is to hold on till PTQ season starts, like which we'll talk about, and then collect the rest and just play online until then, basically, because there's no reason to buy cards. But
I'm down to 10, including the Fabled. Although
nice.
I can get the Iron Songs from friend of the podcast, Keith, anytime I want. Apparently,
there you go.
Because he has a ton of them. And then I'm missing Merciless Battle Axe.
Oh, sure.
and then I have 0 of the mechs, and I have 1 plasma mainline, and I have 2 powder kegs, and then the Fabled, and then outside of that, and 1 more Cryptic Crossing.
Okay. We're very similarly situated. A lot of the stuff we're missing is pretty expensive. Like we're missing the Crown of Dominion. That's only $20. Never mind.
No, all the legendaries that are not Black Tech are affordable.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I have 2 Black Tech, so.
Oh, nice. Okay, I did my whole cart the other day, and it was like $350 for everything, not including Command and Conquer. So I'm pretty comfortable there. Like we'll get it, but it's just a matter of like, hey, there's Netrunner cards to be bought, So
you said it costs like $100 to have all the cards you need.
I did.
But yeah, you just said that. We were just talking earlier. You said you buy the deck for like $100.
Oh, Netrunner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you buy like the prepackaged set of cards. Yeah. So everything in the format that we're going to be playing at the store will cost about $100. But the old FFG stuff that's out of print, that's in the expanded format, I'm like addicted to, so I'll probably buy that shit. Yeah. That stuff's like out of print and has been out of print for like years.
Yeah,
like
that's
5+.
Yeah.
But like slowly that stuff is working its way into like legacy, basically. the legacy version of Netrunner and won't be relevant. So it's going to be a very slow. Like our local group is basically like, hey, we have some downtime until PTQ season, and then question marks until whatever else like we'll talk about. So let's just play this other game that's very fun.
Do you mind? Yeah, do you mind diving into Dynasty a little bit, just in general?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, because I'm getting a lot of I'm seeing a lot of people referring to this set as a dud, and it reminds me exactly of how people talked about Everfest when Everfest, was new.
Sure.
And you turned around, and the next thing you knew, that Swarming Gloomvale was $25. And I feel like they're going to sleep on some things that they're just not thinking of right now. I put Cryptic Crossing in Briar. It's a beating. It is an absolute beating.
Let me pull up Cryptic Crossing just only so that I can see it. Because I missed the fun initial launch weekend with our vacation.
Yeah.
So if you're like me, it's a yellow. It costs 3. It's an attack action for Runeblade. If an attack action card and a non-attack action card were pitched to play this, it has the first time this deals damage to the defendant here, they discard a card, you draw a card. That sounds kind of gross. Could you like Mauve Skies into that? It's pretty good.
Well, just like if you have a channel turn, you pitch one of your, you play out your first thing with a blue earth card, or with whatever, and then leaving yourself the ability to pitch earth plus, to get your non-attack and attack for this.
Sure.
And then you have this is 9 on hit. You discard, I draw.
That's that's pretty strong. I could definitely see that being worked in.
And then Looming Doom, I got combo killed by Looming Doom.
Oh, really?
So turns out that you attack, like let's say you have 8 rune chance. This is exactly the scenario that happened to me.
Okay.
You have 8 rune chance, you attack. The rune chance go on the stack to resolve and destroy to deal damage.
Right.
Activate creepers, play Looming Doom. Eat the 8 rune chance. Put 8 counters on Looming Doom.
Oh god, yeah.
And then you still have to deal with the 8, and now that is another 16 off Looming Doom. And all they have to do is block. And I'm like, God, fucking damn it.
Do you see a world where they change the way that like tokens interact? Because I feel like Frostbites and Rune Chants do not work the way like the triggered ability is not what they intended it to be.
Yeah.
It feels that way when you look at a card like Looming Doom. I don't think they intended that you attack and then get to do Looming Doom shit.
Right. And I mean, it's a one-time thing, so maybe not, because it happens to be, you have to pop creepers for it, which I guess doesn't necessarily need to be one time. But it's I can see them sort of fixing that, as it were.
I wouldn't be surprised, I guess, like if that was a change we made later down the road, is that these basically have split second. And for non-magic people, that basically just means like it happens and you can't respond to, so that would be interesting. I do think that the set was very unfun to open compared to Everfest and Uprising. I did not enjoy cracking our packs, really. Like I like cracking packs. I like doing it with my wife. It's fun. But compared to other sets, I thought it was very boring.
I did speed run the majority of what I opened.
Yep.
It was kind of, because we did a midnight thing, and that was great. And so at the midnight thing, people were kind of savoring the flavor a little bit. But as soon as like I was home and I was in completionist mode, I was just busting. Whereas I was always in not in Everfest, in Uprising, I was always like immediately checking the back, see if I got one.
Right. Right. Yep. 100%.
And here I just didn't have that. I mean, I opened 0 marvels too. Like that didn't help. But I did open 4 of the 5 legendaries needed, and the duplicate was the best one. So I can't be mad. But on the other side of it, because it's like the marvels don't matter to me until they're affordable, and I might complete that set, maybe. That Emperor is making it. I think that if I opened a Marvel Emperor, I would then think about finishing the Marvel set. But
how much is it?
It's down into like the 800 range last I knew. And I think it's been bouncing around quite a bit.
Gotcha.
Bad radio time. I'm just gonna go and do some quick looking to see what it is now.
Sure.
But it's been kind of everywhere. And let's look here. Marvel Emperor.
Yeah, I know that, like, I've seen people get very excited when they've seen it posted, but I don't know how accurate, like, somebody going, "Oh, I opened X amount of dollars of a card" is. You know, I really don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, there's no really good
comps up there.
Yeah.
Emperor Dracula of Marvel. Are there any listed? There's one listed for 1750.
Yeah, but I've seen some that
There's
sold
also one listed for
way less than that.
$20,000. So
Gotcha.
That's not happening.
Yeah. That was probably one of the first people to open it. And we're just like, let's see. You know, yeah, like this isn't more rare than an alpha, like Heart of Fyendel. You know,
Right. Like,
right.
4 days ago, some people were trying to sell them for 1.5. There have been listings I've seen sold for under 1,000.
Sure.
Like, it's they've been all over the place. So I'm not sure. God, I'm just seeing Emperors for 18. And I'm just like, yep, okay.
Wow, what a fun legendary! It's stuff like that kind of makes me feel like the set was sort of a dud. Like half of your legendary slots are just kind of like boring.
Yeah, it makes me really want to overbuy the Majestics though.
Yeah, that's true, right? Like if you could stock up, if you're trying to, you know, like speculate, maybe that's the play. Is these are powerful, and maybe who knows what like future formats or like PVE does to the desirability of some of these cards. I don't see PVE driving the market too much, to be honest, but like maybe it's just worth to have.
Right.
So, but I agree with you that there's always more room in these than we have information for. Like there's only 2 more premier events for 2022, so we're not going to see too much moving and shaking until PTQ season anyway.
Speaking of,
no, we sure aren't. And yeah, you can do this now. Like, it's been a while. You can do this.
ProQuest Season 3 was announced. It kicks off January 14th and it runs through the 19th. It is classic constructed. Boo. And prize payout is a gold cold foil. For first place, top 8 get Soraya. Is that sleeves? Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It is
That's
Paige
right.
from WWE. And
she had her
Soraya
first match last night. I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure it was a first match and not great, but yes, but nonetheless, she is my favorite wrestler, so I'm very excited. And then there are 24 participation resource point metal coin things.
Yeah, the FaB metal token things.
There you go.
This is boring to me.
It was boring in season 2.
Yeah. Like the OP price support has really gone downhill from like cool play mats and like cool promos to just like, hey, here's some sleeves. Like the gold foil and the PTI is like fine, right?
Obviously,
but yeah, like what the hell is the resource metal point? They like, I don't know. I would rather these be like I would rather these be like token, or I'm sorry, like promotional arts, you know.
Sure.
Like stamped even would be cool. Like I don't know. I just sort of bored with like this. I hate to be a downer because I think one of the things we do well is like hype up cool things, but this leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a discussion that went on Twitter around this where there's some feel bads, right? Like I have a collection of tunic sleeves because I am team can't finish when it comes to a PTQ. I'm the captain. But at any rate, but if I would have been able to pull that off in ProQuest Season 1, I would have these sweet gold or cold foil heroes. And there were playmats, and now there are sleeves.
Yeah. Like, and sleeves are one of those things too where they're so cheap that you can't even like show off. Like a playmat, yeah, you could still buy, but like they get a little bit more expensive, so you could show it off and like use your playmat. Be like, I earned this thing, right? And that's really cool. But you don't get that with sleeves, and they don't have the same. I guess it's because you throw them away after like so many uses.
Yeah.
any kind of like prize that I can get that has a shelf life is like very disappointing. And that's definitely how I feel with like basically everything you get here.
Outside, I mean, I think that the resource counters are at least a nice add.
They're cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this screams somewhat cobbled together to me again.
Yep.
Where it feels like they had season 1 super planned out and ready to go, and it was great. And then, but they didn't do the same thing for season 2 because they didn't know when they wanted to do it.
I think I completely agree with you. I think this does give that big like this is just what the prize is because they're in a cycle and this is just an easy thing to throw together and ship out the door, and like anybody can get sleeves made at any amount now, and like it's easy, which is disappointing.
Yeah,
but
I also think that this doesn't necessarily mean this is how every ProQuest season will be. And I think the reason I think that is because RTN season had cool shit in top 8. And I think that was planned. Like, because the first round of nationals and the first round of RTNs were super planned. So I think that the second round of RTNs were also super planned way ahead of time, but these weren't. And so they're just reacting to that.
I wonder if just because we're going to have at least 2 seasons a year, whether they just kind of slide into like a groove with them. That's my only hesitation. It's like we have 2 of these a year. For PTQs, you get sleeves and like a trinket. And then for like nationals, which they took very seriously, and they took worlds very seriously. So like maybe for those you get like a juicier thing. I could see that being. I'm not as optimistic, but I think we're processing the same information, just like reaching different conclusions. And I hope you're right. Ultimately, is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Here's hoping anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's the best we got. We're not in the room, man.
Yeah, right. And we don't know anything about what's coming up. So, like,
yeah, we know about that and nothing else for 2023. It's just the end of November.
Nothing.
No big deal.
Yeah. Hey, you get this invitation to Pro Tour 3. Where that is? No idea.
We shadow know where that it will be in the United States.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. Like, so Matt DeMarco Flakes put it on Twitter that's the case. That's the extent of it. We don't know when, right? Did he shadow say when?
No,
okay.
Not at all.
Good.
My guess is somewhere similar to when Pro Tour 1 was. So like April-ish, March.
April.
Yeah.
Man, that I would like to know about it now.
If they could put it in Phoenix right around for no reason whatsoever. I mean, obviously there is absolutely zero reason that this would be true of me needing this for any reason whatsoever. But if they could put it like the weekend of St. Patrick's Day in Phoenix, that would be fantastic. Or the week before. I could do the week before. That's totally fine.
I would settle for Central Ohio. For completely selfish reasons.
But I'll already be in Phoenix.
That's
then.
right.
I'll already be in Columbus then too.
That's true. Yeah, but the other side of that is you could come with me to World Baseball Classic games.
That would actually be really fun. I just looked at the groups today.
Yeah,
that'd be really fun.
Mexico, United States, Canada, and Great Britain.
Yeah, we should win our group
in our group in Phoenix.
Yeah, we should win our group. We talk about this. This is the most recurring segment on our podcast. Like, just tell me when things are happening. Like, the fact that I don't know Q1 2023 stuff yet is a little annoying. I know in knowing and working with like the Realm for like the Battle Harden that they got, I know that FFG is very last minute.
Who?
I know they're very hurry.
LSS?
Did I say FFG?
Not Netrunner.
I've been playing a lot of Netrunner. I think about a lot. I've been thinking a lot about Netrunner.
We're taking a nap on this FaB, baby.
No, we're not.
Yeah. Stay tuned for Netrunner podcast near you. So yeah, like we talk about this all the time, and I just almost did again. LSS doesn't like to tell us stuff, and I don't know why that is. One of the things James said during his like panel with Flake at PT1 was, well, COVID, threw a wrench in a lot of our planning, and like, dude, it's been. Listen, babe, like it's not. We're not in COVID world anymore.
We
Like
let that
excuse.
card. We let that card go for.
Yeah. We all bought it then. I
Okay.
think I was a big pushback at the time, but like ultimately, like, okay, it was 2021. We were just coming out of it. Now when is things happening in 2023? That's what I want to know.
I just want to know.
Yeah. Even if you said, hey, Q3, you're still going to get a PT and nationals. Q4, you're going to get worlds. Q2, question mark. Q1, you're going to get a pro tour. That would be enough for me, right? Like, hey, well, no, but like it'd be better than what we had. Q1 North American PT, Q3 an Asian PT, plus your nationals, Q4 US worlds. That would be enough for me, I think.
Sure, but like, would you rather be drilled in the face with in the face with a golf shoe and their balls with a golf shoe? Like, pick one.
Right. Yeah.
One might be better than the other. They're not good.
Either are good, sure. Yeah, we should definitely know location and dates for PT1.
For Q1. For Q1.
Yes.
We should know.
Yes.
We should know
for all callings
through
and battle hardens. Yep.
Absolutely. We should know that right now.
Yep.
And do not.
This is the thing that prevents them from becoming big time, in my opinion. Not the thing, because I think like you just have to compete with very established IPs in the TCG space. But like the inability to tell me when to let me plan my life around it. And like I'm in a position in life like the three of us are where we would go to virtually everything.
Yeah.
Like I would go if I could plan it. I just like can't go on the drop of a hat. Like our schedule fills up so quickly.
Right.
So it's so tough to like I'm looking at January right now because January's PTQ season. Yeah. I'm looking at February right now. There's shit on their calendar for February.
Yep.
Like, March isn't that far away from being clear, filled up. So I don't know.
Yeah, I've got a week in March that's already done, but that was done a while ago. But the World Baseball Classic schedule was announced a while ago.
And no one cares about that tournament. That tournament's fake as shit.
Right.
Oh, God, only like degenerate baseball fans like the World Baseball Classic, Oh yeah, you and I, brother, like, yeah. So I don't know. I say all that to say I like this game. I like the events. I want to go. Please let me plan for it.
Yeah. Yes, that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to know what is reasonable for me to do in January, February, March.
Right. And don't plan the qualifier before you tell me what I'm qualifying for. Like
we're qualifying for Pro Tour 3.
Oh, sure. You're right. Now I can go.
Right.
Yeah. Like whether I would play in these would change. Whether I would play in scoop to people would change. Like a lot would change depending on like if I knew where Pro Tour 3 was going to be.
Yeah.
But alas,
I don't know. Like for my money, for my travel dollars, for whatever, like, the schedule fills up kind of fast.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like already planning on, April. If they say that, the weekend of April 11th is when the Pro Tour is, it's like, babe, I'd already bought tickets for last game of the NHL season, Jets at Wild, because it might have playoff implications. That I'm already planning April.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Q1 2023, we're getting a standalone booster set. Is that going to tie into Pro Tour 3? I hope, but like, who knows? Like, there's a lot that I would like to know.
Well, because they're doing 3 draftable sets next year.
Are they? Is it the plan?
Yep, 3 draftable and 1 supplemental is the plan, is the go forward, which sounds oddly like Magic, circa 2012.
Yeah,
but not mad about it either. Like,
that was a great time. For sure. Like, line those up with Pro Tours and Worlds, and then
there you go.
Do the supplemental to just like bide some time. Yeah,
so that's kind of where I was going with that. Is we might be able to line up Pro Tour and Worlds to the second and third draftable sets for 2023. So if we know that a draftable set is in April of 2023, as we can get when that is, that's probably going to be Pro Tour 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the products release page says Q1 2023, so March at the latest theoretically.
Right. But
yeah,
it should be January. It should be January or February.
Based on where we're at. Yeah.
Yeah. With another supplemental set next year too. I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. Hey, Everfest Unlimited's coming for real, guys.
Nope.
It's still on the product release page.
It sure isn't.
I love just like we'll keep it on there. Just leave us alone.
Just get the fuck off our dicks, man. Like,
yeah,
we
like
don't
it's
need
not
this.
coming, guys. Stop it. Nobody bought this shit. Leave us alone. Yeah.
Like you could still go buy first Everfest if you really want to. We still give it out as armory prizes, for God's sake. So
yeah. Yeah. But
here we go.
Well, we beat that horse to death, but I think we're all on the same page, and it's so frustrating.
Ew.
I like that horse.
We also have the FaB Team Cup. I know nothing about it.
I do, and it's looks like there are 40 teams. There's 32 teams, 32 teams, and we have some bangers in here because we have Team Ascent featuring a friend of the podcast, he who should not be named, and we have some national teams like Team Poland and Team Brazil, who just got Flesh and Blood in Brazil, which is kind of sweet.
That's pretty sweet. Yep.
Magnolia Gaming, FaB Cards, the Card Guys. FaB Chile is another one that I'm sort of into.
Indie Arsenal features some regional people.
Yep, local to you. Yep. But we have a Big Deck Energy. We really thought through that one. And my favorite team name, I think, is Gin and Tunic, because I like both of these things. Or the Separatist Union, because I'm wondering if that's Ukrainian players. But
that'd be cool. Yeah,
that'd be great. Just
Combat Chain is on there.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the format for this tournament? I haven't. All I've known that it's existed. There's content to watch on it from the Combat Chain. I just haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it's I went to queue it up hoping that it'd be a quick hitter before the show, and the quick hitter looked like an hour and 27-minute show, and that is not a quick hitter where I'm from. So that was not something that was happening. But I plan on going back and watching it, so don't get mad, Pat. I didn't.
If it's anything like the bracketology show, like, it'll be fun to watch. So
yes,
yeah,
which was also fun to do.
That was fun.
I like this World Cup format. It was the coolest tournament in Magic.
Yeah.
It was the best tournament to watch by far. Like, I am not a patriotic person, to much the shock of everyone that listens to this. I'm sure I loved that. I become like this red-blooded American during international competition. Like tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, United States plays. I'm going to be going bananas.
Because they had to fuck up the Welsh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like they fuck sheep. Like, let's go. We rebelled against those people. They just fucked their sheep. So, like, let's go. So that's where I'm at. On another monitor, I'm opening up our listener demographics to see if any Welsh people listen to our show.
Because you just call all Wales sheep fuckers.
Do we know how many people are on each team? Do we know? I mean, do we have any? I know nothing, so I don't.
I don't know. I know Dagan is on Team Ascent. That's what I got.
Yeah.
Indeed. Arsenal. Yep. And then I'm assuming that FaB Cards would have Dalen on it.
Yeah, I assume Hamilton is on Indie Arsenal as well.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's an Indianapolis guy and plays with Travis, so that would be my guess. But I'm gonna watch the content that comes out of it. Like, my lack of information now is not indicative of like the interest that I have in it. It's just we just got back from a long vacation and we haven't looked it up and haven't watched the video. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm looking at geolocation data real quick.
And how are we doing with the Welsh?
The map doesn't. It's such a small country. We have some listeners in the UK.
That's
6.73 of our listeners actually.
That's good.
Yeah.
We're worldwide, bitches.
Yeah, we have some Indian listeners. Thank you.
Cricket, because they listen for cricket.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So there could be some Welsh, and if you are Welsh and listening to this,
Please
Stop fucking
Hey.
cheating.
hey, fuck you. You know, until Tuesday, and then
And
we
then
could
you're
be cool
fine
again.
again. Yeah, we're cool
Then
again.
patreon.com/flushingpod. Yeah.
All right.
But
All right. So more to
yeah.
come on that. Now that we're 2/3 of the podcast is back to a normal week starting tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that.
That's
right.
Yeah, be on the lookout.
All right. We have 3 listener questions this week. The first one, is this from somebody? Or we Oh,
no,
this
is
one's
from
from
me.
Jordan.
That one's from
Oh,
me.
this is a Jordan question.
What are you thankful for?
Yeah. I was thinking FaB oriented, but at the same time, if you want to like wax poetic about your 401ks, that's cool too. You know?
You.
Who's going first? I guess
You. I think I asked the question.
Okay.
Abby goes last, and that's the way she goes.
So within the context of the show, obviously I'm thankful for my wonderful co-host. This is episode 51.
We're so close.
Which means the next one is episode
52.
Yeah.
Which means we've been doing this shit for a year.
Yeah.
And also thankful for our listener base because we are far more successful than we ever thought that we would be doing this shit. So very thankful for all of you and what the community has brought me in my life in general. I do appreciate that a lot. Home-wise, outside of the show, I appreciate and I'm thankful for my caring and loving wife who would take care of me if I were to be chronically ill and unable to take care of myself. And if the shoe was on the other foot, I would make it look like an accident. And also very thankful for my bidet. It is a lifesaver I get a high pressure bidet straight up there and make sure you're cleared out and good to go. Make it look like clean, fine china. So you can eat
Please don't
off my rectum and be safe.
Public service announcement. Don't do that.
The next time that I put a thing in about what we're thankful for, there's going to be a Skip Logan in the thing. Jesus Christ. No, that's really nice. I echo the sentiment of like the Flush and Pod community for all of the memes about being fappers. You guys are great. The Discord is like literally just all day, nonstop, like just cool talking about stuff.
It's
Not even
show.
Flesh and Blood related. It's a 2-beer show. Yeah, I like that a lot. To the broader community outside of Flesh and Pod, like the national community. I've met some of the best friends of my life this year through this game that wouldn't have made without Flesh and Blood, right? You and I have gotten to become good friends again, Logan, and talk more regularly this past year. Like we've talked more this past year probably than our entire relationship, but also like we were talking about before the show, like, hey, it's been a long time since I've seen you because we weren't here last week, and like we used to go like years without talking, and now it's like, oh, I didn't talk to Logan this week. That's weird. And that's
now
cool.
you'll call me out of the blue with a bet on
random props,
random prop, and I'm slamming money every time. I'm not
even
about
random 3-year-olds and their like destructive habits,
or like the skills competition at a Ren fair. I'm not at.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Logan and I live at an appreciable distance, and like we gamble on just this nonsense. So that stuff is great. Personally, outside of Flesh and Blood, like I am thankful for Abby. All the shit we do on this show is not really an act. It's pretty close to how we act in real life. But like, I do love my wife, and I am glad to share a lot of things with her, including the hobby. So it's a good time of year to think about that kind of stuff. And I realize how lucky we all are. But I wanted to talk about it. Abby, what about you?
Man, going last
what are
is
you
the worst
thankful for?
You guys took all the things I said, and
You don't even play Flesh and Blood. You couldn't have used that one.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
You could also buy a bidet.
Hold on.
We have a bidet.
Oh,
time out.
Good.
Jordan, how many events did you win this year?
What?
How many? Listen, you wanted to go down this route, and I don't play Flesh and Blood. How many events did you win this year? Okay.
I don't think
I won one.
Any.
So I'm thankful for that.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow.
No, but obviously I echo everything that they say. The big thing for me is the community as a whole. People that listen to us versus people that don't, doesn't matter. This is a very comfortable space for me. I go to events, I'm not uncomfortable. I'm not constantly like just ready to leave over it. I love the community. I've had very, very few negative interactions, and most of those have just been like a misunderstanding and not like a you're a girl and you suck kind of thing. So that's a big deal for me, and I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that I won that event, just in case anyone forgot.
And your fourth place finish.
No, it was
Team
third.
Soup?
I still have the envelope downstairs. I'll go get it. Don't think I won't.
That's funny. Now, I will say, I think we were both very lucky as well to have strong local communities.
Yeah.
We talked about the national communities a lot because those are the most visible. But like the local crew here with like Teague and Josh running tournaments like crazy madmen,
Literal
Keith,
crazy. Yep.
doing insane stuff for the region. Yeah, to everybody that's in the Possum Posse. Like you guys are great friends, and I'd say testing partners, but they'd laugh because I never like show up. Yeah. So like you'd have to play the game to be considered a testing partner. But
and shout out to our extended family too. We have Flake obviously has become a big part of our lives, and along with Tommy and the theatrical Elaine.
Oh my God, she kept saying it like
over
that.
and over. What the
theater?
Fuck?
You mean theater?
No, it's theater. What the shit?
She's like, yeah, no, you say theater. Theater? Am I saying it with theater? Ugh. God.
Yeah, that was horrifying. I don't get it. And then obviously, locally here we have the local crew here with Dagan and Zach and Kenny and Taylor and Benny and Patty.
Oh, Patty.
Holy fuck,
Patty.
The
Patty
absolute,
by Patty.
The absolute legend Rody Berg. And
oh God,
we got the absolute GOAT. It's unimpeachable that he is the GOAT. And I wouldn't know these people really and have the connections and the friendships I do with them without Flesh and Blood. And that's vitally important. And also, you brought it up too, the Bartrams, like they're kind of a glue like now to a lot of us. And the reason that we can do some of the cool shit that we do is because of Keith and Jacob. So there's just a lot to be thankful for, and I don't want to look at any kind of gift horse in the mouth, but we are going to be moving into a second year of this show, which is not something that we had on our radar by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, no, season 2 is shaping up to be a banger. So,
are we going to take a week off after a year? Because I don't think we're going to.
I don't, probably not. Yeah,
slide right into year 2.
Keep going through sweeps. Yeah.
Sweeps. No one's going to get that reference.
Yeah, I feel old. Yeah,
oh God,
kids with your streaming
that was a 45-year-old reference.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna. I liked this question. I think we're gonna do one for FaB Christmas wish list. So think about that, and then FaB New Year's resolutions. So think about that as well. I like these little like planning content at the end of the year so free. So.
All right. Question number 2 is from Keith. Speak of the devil. Do you like how they introduced a new class in a supplemental set?
I'm gonna say no. Only because I feel like there is a lack of good support that you can't give in a supplemental set. Like you can't do a deep dive. I'm saying this a lot to keep in mind that Cube is skewing my perspective. That Arachne is such a cool hero, but we're seeing a lot of people struggle with building it, and I think part of that is just like it didn't get a full draftable core of cards, and I wonder if that had something to do with it. Also, the fact that it can't be supported in Cube right now is a bit of a downer from just a numbers perspective, but I recognize that's just me. So I don't know how you feel about it, Logan, but
it feels a little awkward to have an adult hero in a brand new class in a supplemental set. And I get it. Arachne was supposed to be in Arcane Rising. And so
Yep.
this hero has existed, and they just wanted to get it into the world. Totally understand. And it feels like they turned the knobs a bit on it. They did some tuning. Yes, some of the cards are pushed to shit, but they did a lot of, like, thank God they didn't give anything natural go again. But that would, but yeah, you have to work for your supper over here. Yeah, because that's what an assassin does. I think that there is, even playing the hero now in constructed and even in blitz, it does sort of feel like there's a lack of support, and where you just don't have you have these really pushed high powered cards in Perdition, Black Tech Whisperers, alongside Eradicate and Surgical Extraction, but then like your support cards in your common and rare slot feel kind of uh underwhelming. You know, they just don't, they hit, they get a card off the top, maybe it's what you need to get a silver. That doesn't feel impactful. um but at the same time, it's early. We may get some more impact, not may, we're going to get some more impactful stuff at some point in time, but it just feels kind of an awkward way to get. And that's the other part, is if we had a new class in a core set, or not a core set, but a draftable set, we could draft and understand the class,
Yes.
and gain that understanding through drafting. Here we're having to grind games and not want to tear our hair out when it just doesn't come together the way we think it should. And so without that kind of roadmap of playing the hero in a limited environment to kind of see more what the game plan feels like, you're going to get a lot of frustrated players trying to make this hero work that just can't.
I completely agree with you. I'm trying to decide whether I would rather have had them do it the way they did it, or create the risk of an absolutely busted hero in draft. I know that Brian Gottlieb had a hand in this set, and then has a very heavy hand in the next one.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it was just like hey, we've got to like get some. There's going to be a lot of assassin in the next set, almost for sure. Would be my guess. So do we need, I assume it'll be a draftable hero. I hope it'll be a draftable hero. This is the perfect cube hero, guys. So I hope that like that was kind of the hedge that they made, and it's just one of those things that we'll never know how it would have played out, and like guys like us will grumble about it, but it'll ultimately have been for the best. So
There you go.
For a map.
How do you feel, Abby?
I haven't even attempted to play it, so I don't know. I mean, I've read a lot of people's opinions on it, but like I haven't done anything to make my own. So to be
Shocking. Abby
I
didn't do anything with Flesh and
did.
Blood.
I opened cards.
Wow.
Okay. Listen. Be nice. Okay, question number 3 is from Fighting the Loon. Would CC be improved if heroes started with less than 40 life?
This was a hot topic in our Discord, Logan.
Yeah, this started some overt discussion.
Yeah, people liked Blitz. The conversation around Blitz has shifted a lot, thanks to the Worlds, and I think as it should. Yeah, and I think we were on the forefront of that.
You're ahead of the chains. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we were. I think we said it's much more skill intensive than people think, and your decisions matter, and that's now what people are saying. So I feel very.
CFB clipped me saying that. Come on.
There you go. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from that episode I did with Flake when he did the roundtable based on it, like the promoted clip that CFB did on Twitter was me giving that answer.
Oh, that's so sick. Okay, I didn't know that. I think we were ahead of that, and then now that seems to be the common prevailing thought. So now people are like, well, what if every format was like that? And I don't think I want that, to be frank. Like, I think I like the fact that your deck has to be very consistent in CC. I think that there's time to set up is good. I think that you could take an Art of War from FaB and still be able to execute your game plan. Where if you lowered the life totals to like even 30, you go into like emergency block to not die mode much earlier.
Yeah, it makes blocking a thing, and I don't want to block. It also would make it, I think, so that you'd almost have to move to a best of 3 format, just because the high roll turns aren't something you can come back from. You're just dead, and that doesn't fit with how this game is designed, I don't think.
I completely agree. Yeah, I think the 40 life. Well, we always wondered with Magic whether 20 life was just like a fixed number or if that was just the number and they got lucky, you know? And I wonder if, like, I feel like it's a little bit more intentional in FaB with 40 and the way numbers are designed because the game is balanced around CC. And I don't think that changes just because we realize that Blitz is also good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's you definitely get to see it when you have young heroes, adult heroes that have differing life totals because they're exactly half at every point in time. So it is 100% based around 40.
Yeah.
So Icelander is 36 and 18, and Kano is 15 and 30. Like, that's the reason it's based around that number 40. It has to be, otherwise they are throwing darts with a blindfold on and getting scum fucking lucky. I don't think so. I mean, that's how they plan out their event schedule, but I don't think it's how they create the game.
Yeah, yeah. That's how they play it out there at Fitch schedule. Sorry, that passed me by. The first spin of my brain didn't read that. And then that's really good. So I do think it would be interesting, but I don't think it would be for the better. Ultimately, is my opinion on that.
I mean, I'd be willing to fuck around with it though.
Oh, I'd play it. I'd play a format of it. Like, I'd give me Kano.
I'll try anything once.
Yeah, exactly.
Nope.
Twice
Nope.
if the first time was fun.
Good lord.
Precisely.
All right. So, for the first time, we have our associate producer shout out. We haven't had one of those yet. So this is for our $5 tier as an associate producer. So we have Andy P, and then we have our executive producer and up tier, which is $10 and up. And we have May, Philip, Taylor, Ed, Josh, Kenny, Nick, Teague, Ben, Alan, and Michael. If you are interested, patreon.com/fleshandpod. We have 4 tiers, and that will break everything out for you. As always, you can find us on Twitter at FleshPod. You can join our Discord. The link will be in the show notes. You can give us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. You can like and subscribe on YouTube. You can shoot us an email at fleshandpod@gmail.com. My personal Twitter is at AbbyD83. So much has happened in 2 weeks, guys. I don't even know where to start. Jordan and I went on vacation. It was wonderful. It was a very... Twitter almost died. I was using it though, so like, I kept it afloat. You're welcome. I know.
You saved Twitter.
It's all the possum pictures and me acting like a child that really did the job. So you're welcome. But I am back. I will not be taking any work trips until at least next year. Hopefully. I said that, and then 2 days later I had to book the trip I went on 2 weeks ago. So who knows what'll actually happen, but that's the goal. Logan?
I'd like to point out that our last YouTube episode has 94 views right now.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's great.
We'll take it.
Not shitting on the YouTube algorithm right now.
Yeah. It's amazing what happens when you play by the
rules. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. No, it's still just a fraction of our listens, but it is really good in terms of like, thank you guys that consume this way. Like, hello, I'll wave to you. We appreciate it a lot. For getting in all the things. So that's really cool.
Yeah, and so you can find me on Twitter at Logan Peterson for as long as Twitter exists, which, touch and go. It seems like right now, and we are, I think, actively as a varying community of people in the Flesh and Blood space, trying to figure out where do we go if this hell site finally crashes into a mountain and erupts into flames, and we haven't figured that part out yet. So as soon as we do, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
Oof. And also, you can find me in the Discord. I am almost constantly talking to somebody and doing something when it comes to the Discord. So please, if you need to get me, I'm right there. I know that we are, we're coming into year 2, and we're gonna have a lot of things in the works. I think, like I mean, again, wildly more successful than we thought we'd be. There are things that we wish were different. There are things that we know we could do differently to be more in favor with the higher powers that be, and we're fucking never gonna do it because
that's right.
That is not who we are.
Yeah.
We we are like, Come on, motherfuckers. You just put out a card called Shitty Christmas Present. You put the word shitty on the fucking card. You're leaning into the fact that you are a game not for kids. You gave out regicide promos to people that were impacted by the Queen's death and the movement of UK nationals. Don't fucking come at me that I'm too much.
To be clear, we should be promoting regicide because
right.
monarchies are the devil.
Also that, yeah, yes, the monarchy's a bullshit, and we should all be. Oliver Cromwell didn't do a whole lot right, but
got that. Yeah, wow. Are you okay? You feel better?
I was wondering if I could get that out with a straight face, and I was really close.
You did pretty well.
Yeah, that's a hard one to sell though. Like, you don't really get there too often, but that's where you find me. And also, baseball is going to be hitting hot stove soon, which is going to turn my life upside down because there's a lot. I want Trey Turner to be a Cub so bad, and it's not okay. My love for Trey Turner. If I were to see him in a Cubs uniform, I may just be a full stand for life. But Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter for now at I'm Jerman, IMJRMAN. I will probably go to that open source social media in the event that
what?
Twitter goes down.
I don't even
That's probably the one I'll go over to.
If you're talking about Mastodon, Mastodon is a it's an albatross to work with. I tried.
Yeah, and it's not easy.
These people right now should be working as hard as possible to improve their user experience, because if so, they can launch an IPO in 2024 and all be billionaires.
Yep. Yes.
Sure.
Yes. I think like anything that is open source in this day and age, I'm very about. As a guy that likes to do a little bit of coding on the side as like a hobby, the fact that I could go in and just like fix something or help or just like read it and see what's going on is really fun for me as like a very amateur, enthusiast in that world. Also knowing like what's happening with my stuff because of open source is really nice, knowing that Tencent isn't just like harvesting all of the things that I do on the internet. They are for sure. A lot of cat videos. But yeah, Twitter, Discord is so good still. Like that will be the primary hub, I imagine, if Twitter dies.
Yeah.
How you'll find it if Twitter dies, good luck. Now's the time in the show notes. But
there you go.
That's the best place.
Yeah, we have a lot more listeners than we have people in the Discord. Always makes me wonder.
Which didn't used to be the case. It used to be a 1-for-1, but you guys
what are
you don't know what you're missing. It's a good community. It's a really good community. Like right now we have 130 on there. Not even a fraction. We really appreciate it. The community that's in there, and you would be a good addition to it. There's a channel for Netrunner. There's a channel for Existential Dread. If there's ever a main event, like if a big tournament ever happens in Flesh and Blood again, we will have a channel for that for you to discuss it with people that are at the tournament and that are watching it. But who knows? So, and if you hate the show, there's a place to leave feedback in the Discord as well.
That too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it goes straight into the trash can that is next to Jordan's desk. But
it's very full, but I'm never gonna read it. So. It's the don't check this at gmail.com is the thing.
Well, I mean, that's but I don't know, like social media, like how connected we are via Twitter, and like it's so ridiculous because we're in the end of the show, we're talking about this shit, but at any rate, the fact that Flesh and Blood Twitter is all about, okay guys, where are we going? And Magic Twitter is all about like, fuck all y'all shitlords, and it's like, well, one of these is sort of a growing community of people that enjoy each other's company, and the other one is the Magic community.
Super side note, what is Twitter Circle? I need someone to explain this to me. I don't.
Oh, I can explain this to you. I still don't know how to make one. So a Twitter Circle, which I won't make one because I'm going to be as unhinged on main as I would be anyway, so what the fuck does it matter? Is the tweets that you make inside the circle only go out to the limited participants that you put inside of your Twitter circle. So when you see Carolina tweeting just mad woman shit, always check for the circle mark because it's probably in the circle. Even though she is also pretty fucking unhinged on main, the circle
Got
is
it.
worse.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's like if you wanted to hide your tweets from
Okay,
your parents.
that makes sense.
Or certain people or whatever. Yeah, like I could see them eventually going like the sub circle route as well. Like you have a circle for FaB, you have a circle for.
I was gonna say,
you know,
wasn't
kinda
that
like
what Google did
It's
when
very
they like
MySpace.
made their thing that never happened?
Oh yeah,
Google Plus.
Google Plus. Google Plus.
Was it Google Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one
in the
of
beta
those.
for that. Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
In,
it was
I do
terrible.
too, if it still exists.
That sucked. Yep.
It closed down.
And you have your MySpace 5 was the other one where you had.
Oh, it was top 8, wasn't it?
Was it top 8? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was top 8.
There you go, MySpace.
Man, MySpace.
Yeah. Yep. That was the original. That was the
R.I.P.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
Rest in pepperonis.
Yeah.
MySpace.
Anybody have anything else?
No, but I did miss you, Abby. While you were on sabbatical. By sabbatical, I mean
I missed being here. I literally like the week of until the second I got on the airplane was like, I don't want to fucking go. Like, I went. I did good. I put together my like write up afterwards before we left for vacation, but it was.
I made it so you got charmed. He definitely.
Yeah, and so is anybody else. If somebody comes up and calls me Bigfoot, let me tell you.
Flesh and Pod Legal is not paying medical bills or
That's right.
claims on any injuries sustained by doing these behaviors.
God, yeah, it's actually at that do not reply at gmail.com email is where you can send all that shit.
Everybody's aware.
I walked up to a woman at a tournament and called her Bigfoot.
Okay, that's all. That's all I have.
All right,
No.
please end the show.
Okay, fine.